There you go. I think we're live now, I think.
Yeah.
What's up, boys?
What's going on, Seth? How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. Living the dream, my friend. How about yourself?
Yeah, hanging in. I mean, things are picking up a little bit. You know, I've been keeping busy enough to, you know, I can complete my month without struggling now. You know, it's like always the last week in reoccurring commercial window cleaning. You know, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow, and then you start running out of tomorrows.
Yeah.
But this month, you know, I'm going to be able to take this time to reorganize simply because my company does probably 10 to 15, somewhere around there, monthlies, you know, bigger jobs that are once a month. Like I have a college that I do 7 buildings. It's not complete buildings. I do the first floor, but it's substantial. It's two days work, you know? So I used to love to have my monthly setup, get them done the first week of the month, and then they're behind me. Then I have time for additional work that comes in and just to get the regular ongoing stuff going. So I'm going to take this opportunity with the excess time I have to roll back my monthlies into the first week of the month, and hopefully I can keep them there. You know, because once they get out of phase, you got to slowly move them back. You know, because the guys like you were just here last week, you can't do it. You know.
Yeah, you miss a couple days and it throws off the whole routine. So
exactly. So like one of my my biggest single account I always, you know, is a big furniture store chain, and we do all of their locations in 3 counties, and majority of them are on call. You know, so it's not as good as it sounds, but you know, there's 4 of them that go every month, then 3 or 4 go quarterly, and the rest are budgetary, meaning the manager just can't take it anymore, come clean the windows. So I got inundated by them last week, and I've done 4 in the last 6 days. Did pressure cleaning today or soft washing today. I was down in downtown Miami, and anyone who's ever been to downtown Miami, I didn't know the condition of downtown Miami because, you know, I mean, it didn't. Our governor's been pretty tight with the National Guard, so I know they did some damage down there, but I was like, you got to get down there at 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, in order to do this job because it's roadside, and some of the area you got a water-fed pole from practically standing in the street. Not a place you want to be if there's shit going down, you know?
Yeah.
And I didn't have access to my high-rise guys because they're on a job. I didn't want to pull them off for you know, a once every 6-month job. So I said, oh, I'll go. I drove through the neighborhood. 4:30, I was there. You know, it's an hour and a half ride just to get there, and found that nobody bothered me. Everybody was masked up, even outside. You know, I'm like, dude, I don't care if it's 4 o'clock in the morning. It's 70 degrees here in Florida at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're wearing a fucking mask outside. Just stay the fuck away from me. You know?
Yeah, it's exactly. I mean, everyone's been doing the same thing here. Massachusetts is a little bit more like paranoid, I think, than most other states. So, I mean, I had a lady last week walk about a half a block outside to walk up to me while I was outside to tell me I didn't have a mask on. While she didn't have a mask on. And I was like, well, I was social distancing until you fucking paraded your Karen ass down here to tell me I wasn't wearing a mask myself outside.
You know what's funny? I've always been socially distant per se. I just, I like my private space. I have a buffer zone around me, especially when I'm working. I got my back to people. I'm always looking ahead in the window what's going on behind me, and you want to watch them scatter, just sneeze or cough.
Right, yeah.
Just blow off a sneeze and they get the hell out of the way.
So we just had last Thursday a property management company we work with all the time called me and said, "Can you handle 112 townhouses by the 4th?" And I was like, "Why? What happened?" They're like, "Oh, we had a contractor signed up in April, and then they called them a week and a half before 4th of July to have it done before 4th of July." And obviously they couldn't do it because that's the way it goes. So they called us, and each unit has about 28 windows, so it's 112. Yep. And I've sent my brother there every day by himself for the past 3 days. Because we just, we're jammed. And he said we could do it. I don't think we can. And the amount of people that just aren't like respecting like your personal space, like, well, when are you gonna do my house? Well, I'm like, well, this house was first and this house is last, so wherever your house is falls somewhere in between there. So we'll be there, because they're in charge of taking all the screens off. It's kind of a fucking nightmare. But
well, so let me ask you this. I know you've tightened up on your labor, so it's you and your brother.
It's me and my brother and one other guy.
Now, if you had last year's labor pool, would you be struggling, or would it still be enough to get through?
So far, we've been able to spread the work out like 2 to 3 weeks ahead.
Yeah.
Where normally we only used to run 1 week ahead. And I think for this year, not knowing what's going to happen in October, November, elections, is there going to be a second wave of this? We're handling it, but, we're asking each guy, me, my brother, and the other guy to do $1,300 a day minimum. Yeah. Which, as you know, is a lot to fucking do.
It's not easy in window cleaning. I mean, in my market, dude, we have estate homes. Don't get me wrong. I can go on the island of Palm Beach. There's $100 million homes. Okay. But no one person has 20 of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so to do a $1,300 day, I mean, it's obviously possible. But commercially here in South Florida, if you're a storefront window cleaner,
no, you can't do that. You're doing 600, 650 for a really good day.
$550, $600. Occasionally you'll get
crushing it.
Yeah, that's crushing it around here. I mean, and look, I'm a firm believer that if you're staying busy and you're above the average, and I know what it takes for my company to survive. I mean, it's very simple to figure out. The monthly expenses, the overhead, the insurance, the vehicles, whatever you got, the payroll, insurance, and everything else, and divide that by 20, right? Because there's like 20 days in the month if you don't want to work weekends, whatever it comes out to, and figure out you better be doing a specific amount because you will explode,
Especially for us, because I would say, what, you had a 50-week season there? I mean, I'm sure you have 2 weeks off.
It's year-round.
Yeah,
there's no.
So we work 37 to 40 weeks a year max. So that's why we need the numbers that we need to hit, because we lose almost 3 months. I mean, January, February, and the beginning of March, nobody's doing.
Well, I can tell you this. Look, I've had other people from other states. I know, not necessarily your area, but I know Boston pays a lot more per job than we get here for route work storefront. And that's because I know someone that had a Florida business, then he moved to Boston and started a business. And he's like, dude, we get sometimes minimum of double. What you get you do an Office Depot store for $45 a cleaning. He goes, we get 90, and I go, but taking effect that I'm getting $45 a cleaning year round, 52 weeks a year.
Yeah. I mean, we're doing stuff year round like storefront wise, you are doing it year round. It's a pain in the ass with 6 inches of snow, but also the cost of living's kind of, it's just a different environment. You know what I mean? If you buy a house down there for $250, we're spending $500,000 to buy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of where that stuff is like, even if you make 70, 80 grand a year here, you're living in a starter home, small little fucking shit.
Up there, because my brother-in-law is up by you. The prices have been high for a long time.
Yeah.
Now Florida over the last 10 years has appreciated a lot. Like for instance, what do you got? Either leave it or go.
Now you don't get it. Look at the mess.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, look at that.
She made cake or pudding or something. This didn't come from somewhere nasty, did it?
It didn't come from the toilet?
Well, he's kicking it all over the floor.
Okay. Sorry. All right. So anyway, well, so I bought my house. My house is, I don't know, 1,500 square foot with a 1.5 car garage, acre and a half of property. That's why I bought it, because I wanted land.
That's a big piece of property.
Yeah, it's a nice. Everybody where I live, it's a rural community, has a minimum of 1.5 acres, and then it goes up to 5 or 10. You could buy as many lots as you want. But I bought my house for $97,000, and houses like mine, without a shop, are selling for $360,000, $370,000.
Yeah. So you're near. You're basically near like where we're at now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Well, Florida's becoming a way more desirable area to live in too. You know what I mean? Like it's
a lot of retirees come down here.
Yeah, I mean that's where I live in vacation land. So, and I feel like you do too. So half the year the people that live where you live, come live where I live. Yep. So they come. Oh, look at him.
Tucker. This is Mr. Tucker. Say hi.
What up, Tucker?
Yeah, Tucker's my man. But
you like chocolate?
Oh yeah, it's good for him, dude. That's a myth.
Is that a myth?
It's a myth.
I'd always heard that wasn't good. But.
No, if the dog is a puppy, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, the caffeine is what can get him. But
it's what gets him.
Yeah, he's going on 2, and he's good. Trust me.
Yeah, he seems to be having a ball right there.
Dude, I have. Okay, boy. Here, take this. I have 2 chocolate labs. This is the one I got from DJ, and then I have a coonhound. So I play with them what I call treasure hunt. So I'll grab a fistful of M&Ms or a fistful of pretzels or a fistful of anything. And
you didn't like it?
I did, but I'm talking. You don't like Tucker's enjoying it too.
You don't like my baking?
I like your baking.
Tucker, get down. Stop being baking.
He wants to be on the podcast. He needs headphones.
Hi, Mrs. Tanner.
Seth says, hey.
Hey,
Seth. Okay, so I have a game we call Treasure Hunt, and I'll just take a fistful or a cupful of M&Ms, bring all 3 dogs out, and throw it in the yard. It's like, let it go like buckshot. Dude, they will spend hours.
If you want to keep your dogs busy, that's what you do?
Yes. Yeah, oh yeah, it's funny as hell. He goes, you guys want to play treasure hunt? They line up at the door. And then they get pissed because they got to find all the M&Ms in the yard, in the grass, But like the coonhound, he's got a better nose than the Labradors, so he usually wins. He gets more. Good boy. Good boy. Mommy took it away. So, but anyway, getting back to the window cleaning, I see a lot of businesses now that are starting to open up, but they're still suffering because, it's just like this, Seth. If you have a route, right, and then you say, well, you're going to be able to go back to work, Seth, but you can only do 50% of your storefronts, okay, which means half of your pay. And like with a restaurant, it costs them more to open up the kitchen or the dining room and staff it than they're bringing in.
Yeah, it's not worth it. And we ran into the same thing here just, I think, earlier than you guys. We're now at 75% capacity at restaurants.
Yeah.
But in my town alone, and we're talking about waterfront, like on the water, on the ocean properties. Yeah. We've had 4 restaurants close down permanently.
Yeah.
Done. There's one that had been there for 60 years is gone. And it's like I live in prime like if you're gonna come on vacation in New England, you go to Cape Cod or you go to Plymouth. Like that's where you go. Yeah. And you know, they rely heavily on people coming here, and they're just not coming.
That's sad though.
You know?
That's sad.
And it was our 400-year anniversary this year. It was supposed to be like a big year, like for the town, and it just isn't. So
hey, I want to take a minute to thank Cameron Kidd. Dude, Cameron Kidd bought first he bought 10 towels. He's like, you know, and people are skeptical, is these really as good as Mark and TJ say? And then he's the first one. I figured everybody would buy him. Hey, what's, you know, $50-$60 to try something? And he must have had him a day, and they put in an order for another 50. I think Cameron has more towels than I do. I just shipped them out today.
I know. I gotta download Venmo to pay your wife there to ship them out. I keep forgetting to do it because we've been so swamped. So after
it's all good. Whenever, dude. I'm
gonna get some. Well, I really want some because I could have used them all week.
Dude, like I said, maybe I'm not biased about it because, you know, look.
Well, no, you've tried a million towels. You like this towel, then found a manufacturer. So
I've just never found something that wipes like that, you know. And a couple people are like, you know, I got my wife running it now because it became too inundating. And as people know, I'm horrible about going to the post office and doing shipping labels. I absolutely hate everything about that. So she just took the helm, and I take them to the post office while I'm working, but she's been boxing them up and printing the shipping labels and handling any questions and everything. But so because I'd just be sending you towels. Hey, Seth, you wanted 10? Here they are. Just pay me when you can. You know, and she's just like, oh, no. This is the way.
No. You have to get paid first.
Yeah. I'm like, I know these people. They're not going to screw us around.
Yeah.
You know, and I went into it thinking, well, what's the worst that can happen? They don't sell, and I got a bunch of good towels that I'll probably won't have to buy towels for 10 years. Well, now it's starting to get where I probably have out of 250. I probably have 50 left. I've sold a lot of them. So I'm waiting for the second round. I'm going to order another couple cases.
Well, at this point, you might just open a website where they can just order and do all that stuff online. And
I thought about that. Look, I'll be honest.
What's it going to cost you? $10, $15 to start a website and have
I don't think it's that much, right? I've never had one. You know?
No, it's pretty cheap and it's pretty affordable. If you ever need a hand on it, just let me know. But
I appreciate that. But if I did it,
they could just enter all their shit in, click button, you go.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to get in the towel business. I thought it would be cool, but they're actually selling and people are liking them and getting a lot of good responses about them. You know, I mean, and look,
Mike Nichols loves them.
Oh yeah. Dude. Trust me when I tell you, by the time I get the tag sewed on them, pay for the shipping and everything, I'm not getting on the Forbes list from this, you know. But it's fun. It's a fun gig, and I wanted to see how it worked. And you know, if I did, because I have an outlet, the same guy, the distributor, I could get brand new Huck towels that have never been used, not the surgical recycle ones, but literally brand new ones that are amazing quality. And I'm like, if I can get those cheap enough, we could start, you know, like you said, a website.
MarksDirtyRags.com.
Mark's Rags. Shitrags.com, you know.
I'd buy from them. Shitrags.com sounds like a good place.
Yeah. So what are you doing for the 4th, Seth?
I'm going to Maine.
Yeah.
I'm going to Maine. I leave on Friday, so tomorrow's our last day. We're taking 4 days off. We've been beating the shit out of ourselves, so.
Yeah.
I'm going to a place called York Beach, which is like 2.5 hours north of me. And we rented a house, and like 8 of us are just hanging out for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Shooting fireworks, drinking beers, eating burgers.
That's awesome.
Going to the beach. What about you?
My buddy has a house in Yankeetown, Florida, which is like 4 hours away, and he's on the Swanee River. So we're gonna go boating and scalloping and hang out, you know, get out of the element.
Ooh, right.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to get away. You know, I mean, dude, it's been so freaking hot here. You know, it's like summer. It's like the middle of the summer, and it's not usually this hot. You know, but we're starting to get a little rain, which is good. But I mean, dude, it's been 95, 96 all day long. But you know, I start to complain. I'm like, look, it's better than sitting home. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are sitting home. wondering when the next check is coming.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's been weird here. Today was 74 degrees all day.
That's beautiful.
Super.
Man.
Yeah, well, we got 2.5 inches of rain in an hour and a half today.
Wow.
Like from 2 to 4 o'clock, it like dumped rain.
So are you seeing, like, do you know anyone else in other services business outside of window cleaning that are coming back? Like, I mean, dude, traffic here in South Florida is just like nothing ever happened.
Oh, well, like, I would say like 70% of the state is back to work. So it's like nothing ever happened here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I have a couple friends who own restaurants here that are fucking hurting.
Yeah.
Trying to come back. I have one friend who's 30, owns a bar, just had a kid, and he only has a seasonal liquor license.
Yes.
And he lost till right now. He opened up 3 days ago. Yeah. So, you got a baby just has a brand new baby. So, and that place isn't as fucking packed as every other place is. So I'm just hoping he survives, just makes it through another year and can move on, but we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah. No doubt. I think we got Tim.
But I've seen outdoor providers like us, have been, it's been pretty impressive here. Mark, you still there? Well, I think I lost Mark. So now it seems to be just me. So how's everyone doing? Good? Awesome. So what's everyone going on for the 4th? Anyone got anything good? Sweet. Mike, you back on here?
All right, sorry about that.
No worries. I was just talking to myself for like 20 seconds.
I apologize. Well, Tim called me, and I thought I was adding him to the call.
Oh, so TJ's going to have to be the one who adds him to the call because he opened this up. So we would have to have TJ
add Tim.
So, yeah, if you want to shoot TJ a message or something like that, we can totally add Tim to it. But
he's probably in the backyard digging his pool.
Yeah, he's still digging his potty hole over there.
Yeah.
Wait, 1 sec.
What are you doing, Seth?
I'm grabbing alcohol. Right back.
Yeah.
I can't do this without drinking at least. This is I drink like once a week, and this is my night to drink. So
dude, that shirt has like 1,000 different things on it. There's like
yeah. So you
hamburgers and guns and American Pie.
You ever seen Parks and Rec?
Yes.
All right, so this is a Ron Swanson shirt.
Okay.
So it's got like meat, guns, coffee, fucking hatchets. Basically, like my dream of life is to own a cabin where no one bothers me and I hunt and fish by myself is kind of my dream. So
there you go.
Yeah. I think 4th of July getting festive.
What did you do? Rob those from a hotel mini bar?
No, so the I have 3 route jobs, and one of them is a liquor store. And so instead of him paying me, he just gives me booze when I come and do it. And he'll just put 3 pounds. I'm like, all right.
Dude, if you wash windows for liquor, you might be an alcoholic.
Yeah. Well, I walk in, I go, oh, what do you got? And he goes, well, I can give you this, and that. I'm like, sounds good. I'm there for about 10, 15 minutes, and I get a third rack and a sleeve of nips, and I'm like, hey, thanks a lot, man. So yeah, works good for him, and works good for me.
Yeah, no, as long as you obviously have the selection and get what you want. I mean, I once had a hair salon, like a barber shop, and the guy says, hey, how about if you clean all my mirrors? And I'm like, well, dude, that's going to take me longer than the outside. I can't do that for a favor. And he goes, oh, I'll cut your hair. And I'm like, okay, cool. Here's the problem. I didn't like the way he cut my hair. You know what I'm saying? So now what do I do next month when he wants the mirrors done and he's going to hack my fucking head up again,
Right, yeah, it fucks everything up. I actually, I have a lady she was one of my first customers. And what we worked out after the first time she paid me is I clean her house once a year, and she cuts my hair every 3 weeks.
Well, that's good.
Go in every 3 weeks. it's a good deal. She doesn't have to pay me.
Not
You know, it's a nice bartering system.
Yeah.
So I think her job's like $400 for the year.
Nice.
I go and do it, whatever, and she's like, it just works out for her. She doesn't have to pay me cash. It's just, ultimate bartering system. So
yeah, I only have one barter job. I stayed away from that. There was opportunity here and there because of the haircut thing. It kind of put a sour taste. But I picked up a little pizza joint. Actually, what happened was my wife went to work out, and where she works out, they won't hire me to clean the windows because, God forbid, they spend $25 on a cleaning, But so then they go to my wife and go, hey, doesn't your husband clean windows? And they're like, yeah, but, he's already told me, you want the service, it's $25 a shot. You want to do it once a month, it's $25. Do you want to do it twice? $50, right? So they didn't want to commit. So she brought my son up, who's now 16, and he's actually working for us a couple days a week. He does every summer. And so I go, here, JT, here's the bucket, here's the pole, bring everything back. Tell him it's $25. You tell him to take it off Mom's gym membership or to just give you cash, and that's your money. And while they were there, this guy from the pizza restaurant next door comes out. Of course, he sees my wife in workout gear, so he's like starts talking to her, and then I'm like, so she sold that job. So I went in and talked to him, and he's like, look, I got a guy, he just doesn't show up. I was paying $25 a month, once a month, in and out. I'm like, he's got 3 windows and a door, and I'm like, no problem. And I fixed some stains for him, scraped off some paint, got him looking really good. And he goes, so how do you want to do this? I go, well, I'll just send you a bill. I can leave a bill. You could pay me. You could do credit card. What do you want? And he's like, well, how about pizza? And I'm like, what? And he goes, and I know his food is good. It's strictly a carry-out place. It's not a restaurant. I go, I'll tell you what then. I said, due to the fact that, there's a lot of markup on your food, I said, how about $30 credit instead of the 25? And he's like, you got a deal. So she'll go up there and pick up, a couple pizzas, and we're square. And then, like, we didn't go for a month or two, and I went and washed it. And he's like, here, take the money. I don't want to run a huge tab where you can come in here and get $500 worth of pizza.
Pizza for fucking 2 months.
So,
that one, yeah. I barter a little bit. Like, I have 2 golf courses I do that I actually really like, and I played golf at before.
Yeah.
And one of them, I think I was charging them like $3,500 because it's a big place. They have a couple different driving ranges, all sorts of stuff. And I was like, hey, I'll do it for $27 if you let me do 12 rounds of golf here. I'm like, give me a little packet. We'll knock off that money, and then basically I don't pay for golf.
Yeah.
Year round here, and it works out for me. But
you
gotta pick and choose your bartering. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't want pizza. I don't want. Like,
I hear you. I hear you.
But like, I want what I. You know what I mean? Like, I want what I want. You know what I mean? And that's the fun part about bartering. Hi, here's Tim.
Yeah. Hey, Tim.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, TJ?
How you doing, buddy?
What's up, brother?
Look at you, all clean shaven and got the wife beater on. You're ready to go.
All cleaned up, ready to DJ this shindig. I like it.
Yeah, no doubt. I had a
1 second.
Yeah, do your thing, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going vertical on it. There you go.
You taking a leak?
I'm like, dude.
There you go.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. What's going on, brother?
Dude, I was waiting so long. I finally got hold of TJ.
Yeah. So TJ started this whole thing. So when you were calling, I was like, well, TJ's got to call you and then link it up.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's why I went ahead and texted TJ. I bothered him from doing his fool. What's up, guys?
Yeah. What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. Speaking of bartering.
What you got?
I just got back from the Red Oak. If you don't know what the Red Oak is, that's my favorite happy hour spot.
Okay.
$150 in gift cards.
Yep.
Just a little window cleaning and a little blind cleaning.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Have a good night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I do all my restaurants, all my happy hour spots. I barter for happy hour cards, man, for gift cards. Let me try. And I apologize.
It's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been trying to get on the podcast, but I was getting hot in here, so I had the fan on and everything going.
It's all good, buddy.
Yeah, man, you're in your garage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm imagining during the summer it's pretty hot.
Bob Bouquet set. This is the Bob Bouquet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
get
where
all
the
the
magic
LED
happens.
lights up on
Yeah.
the
This is where
ceiling.
the magic happens, baby.
Yeah.
No, it's my garage. It's actually. I mean, let me take you a little round. You know, you got the
Give us a little tour.
Yeah.
you got the Outlaw right there, right?
Yep.
Little AC/DC.
Yep.
Got all my posters here, man. This is my man cave. Got my Tupac.
Yep.
Got my little Johnny Cash.
There you go.
My dartboard, my Marley.
Yep.
So,
There you go. You almost have like your own private bar.
bro, I live in a little small ranch, and I've got 2 teenagers and a 7-year-old, so I need my space. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
this is
need
me. This is
alone
I don't.
time.
Yeah, we don't park a car in here or anything. This is just this is where my ladders stay. It's all window cleaning basically, except for this part. And we have. I mean, this is my new toy right here. I don't know if it's dark. I'll have to show you the light, but I got the Sony V71. I've got mic stands. I've got it all. I've got karaoke systems in here and everything.
Oh yeah, so you have your own little party in there.
Yeah, dude. As soon as you get into that 8th, 9th beer and you think you're Bon Jovi, yeah.
Let her rip.
Prove it.
Got you. I got you covered. That's it. It's just my fun spot. I mean, this is we got cornhole out there. I got fire pits, trampolines. I got everything you want to do in the yard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything but a pool.
It's the way to do it, man. You know, that many people in one house, like you gotta have your areas to like hang out. You know.
Well, there's 5 of us here. You know what I mean? And I
Not bad.
downsized because, well, I mean, I'm getting old. I'm 45. You know, and I was we had 3 stories by the time you count the basement and you go down the stairs. You know,
Yeah.
by the time ladders, you know, you just don't want to do that at the end of the night.
Yeah.
You know, it's even, I mean, I don't know, just life. You find easier ways to do things when you get older, you know?
Yeah. You find the most efficient way to do something. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the easiest and pain-free way we can do this right now at this point? What's going on, Seth Byers? How you doing out there in New England?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just waiting for the 4th to happen so I can not work. That would be nice.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's been a busy May and June, and I'm just ready for like a little couple day break. What about yourself?
3 weeks. I'm in Florida, Mark Tanner. I'll be 2 hours away.
Let's hook up.
Man, I'm telling you, come up. I don't have a car when I'm down there, man. I'm flying into Melbourne. I'm staying at my aunt's in Palm Bay, so I'm kind of on her agenda. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Well, if you got a time for lunch or for dinner, let's
absolutely. You just
get
let
everybody
me know.
together.
I mean, I'll be there.
Okay,
I mean, we
cool.
just got to trade phone numbers. I don't even think I have your phone number. You know?
Yeah,
I
I'll
just
send
hit
you my
up
number.
Messenger.
No problem.
Yeah, I just got it.
So is Palm Bay like near Orlando? Is that like? I mean, I know you're probably on the coast.
It's southwest of Melbourne. I mean, it's 10 minutes from the ocean, man. It's beautiful down there. Yeah, it's not too far. It's about an hour 15 minutes from Orlando.
All right. Nice.
It's close. It's 50 minutes from Cocoa Beach.
Okay. Yeah, I've driven by Cocoa Beach a bunch. I go to Florida every winter and go play golf for like 3 weeks, either East Coast or West Coast, depending on
I miss golf.
what I feel like doing.
I miss it so bad, dude.
It's Palm Bay, you said Palm Bay?
Yeah.
It's 113 miles from me. That's not far at all.
Well, I mean, if that's up to you, man. I'll be there July 22nd through the Wednesday through Sunday of that week.
Yeah, man. We'll hook up.
Whatever.
If anything, even if we just go to lunch or something, we'll go fuck around.
I'm down, man. I'd love to hang out with you. I mean, last time we hung out, I didn't realize it was you. So
yeah, I was standing right next to you. I was standing right next to Tim, and I'm like, I hope I don't say the wrong thing. I don't know this dude. He looks pretty lit, but we're watching the speed contest, and I'm kind of looked at him, and I kind of mumble, I think these guys are painters or something because none of them know how to clean a window. And then I'm like, uh-oh, I wonder if he's going to be offended. He started, we were laughing.
Dude, you get 2 old school guys together and you already know. These guys were horrible, man. It was horrible. It was like watching guys 2 days into window cleaning trying to clean windows.
They're making a production out of it. Oh, my God.
And they were showing off, bro.
Yeah. They were turning the heat on.
Yeah, just like this, trying to wing it around and just holidays all over the place.
Why don't you go up there and show them how to do it? And I'm like, man, I mean, this is literally like noon, 1 o'clock, and we're like probably a 12-pack in. You get what I'm saying?
That was the Orlando IWCA, right?
Yes.
I went on that Thursday when I was down there because I had to write off my golf trip to Orlando. So I was like, I'll go one day to the IWCA.
So you probably met me and you didn't know it.
Yeah, that could have happened. I was walking around.
I met everybody.
I met Lee Burbridge when I was there.
And you definitely met me because that's who I was getting. We were sharing beers.
Yeah, I went to like 2 classes and then went and got shit-faced at lunch and never showed back up. I left. Yeah.
You know who sticks out in my mind? Of course, I remember Tim because he stood right next to me. Was when I was walking in with my buddy Mike, I saw Alan Smith, and I'm like, that motherfucker there. He looked just like Woody from Toy Story.
There's a snake in my boots. Like,
he roomed with me. He roomed with me. Yeah, dude. And there was this chick there. I mean, she was hot. She was wanting to do anybody that would do her. You know, it didn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. And I kept calling. I called him herpes after that because he got like Olive Garden for fucking her at that point. You know, this girl was ready, and he goes, "Dude, it was great. It was great." Like, it wasn't that great, bro. You probably got herpes, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, he was sitting on his tailgate drinking Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Right.
He's showing her where the coonhound sit. Yeah. I liked Alan. Alan's a nice kid.
He's a good guy. He kind of disappeared. I don't see much from him.
I think you know what? And it's my bad because he tries to hit me up. He calls me his brother and all that shit. And I kind of I'm busy. I got a family shit. And he's not like, he is like you guys, but he's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, he's also mostly a power washer too, so I don't think he's in a lot of window cleaning groups or anything like that. Dude,
though. Like, he's an amazing dude, dude. He's just really good dude. He's the one that got smart and said, "Hey, let's walk to the 7-Eleven instead of spending like $4.50 a beer or something like that at the bar."
Yeah,
so 7-Eleven got an 18-pack and just kept going up to the room. I got to hang out with Peter Artusa that night. That was an amazing. That dude and
Peter's a badass.
Hand in hand, right there.
I mean, that's a guy. If you want to learn how to scale your business, like if that's what you want to do, if you want to have 20 guys, like, he's done it pretty well.
I don't like to promote Lee because I've been pissy with Lee since that whole Richie thing.
Lee's a bitch. Lee's a bitch.
But listen, I don't like to promote Lee, but yeah, I mean, anybody watching this, you want to see Peter Artusa, go see Window Wars. That is an amazing 2-series YouTube thing on Lee's channel.
I've heard about that.
Dude, it's amazing. Go watch that. It's awesome. You want to be motivated to be a window cleaner? That's the shit you need to watch.
Yeah.
That it's Chris and fucking Peter.
Oh, so it was before Chris sold his business then.
Yeah, Peter bought Chris.
When they were
shit. Well, no, I knew that he bought it. So if Chris was still cleaning windows, that's got to be what, 6-7 years ago?
Yeah, and Chris is like the big mafia guy, the badass, the big window cleaner in this. I mean, it's a story, dude. It's a really good show. It's 2 hours.
I'll have to check it out.
It's really good. If you're new, I mean, any window cleaners watching, fuck Lee. But go watch his shit because he really put out some good fucking video here.
So he produced it? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, absolutely. He filmed it. He did it all. He edited. I mean, that is the best video in window cleaning on YouTube right now. Period.
Is that the one where they show them each driving their cars and they're comparing? One has a Camaro, one has that. I don't. That's probably in episode 2, and I didn't. I mean, episode 1's the shit. You know what I mean? Okay.
That's the one. Peter was he's an ex-cop. He got into window cleaning. He's got his crew. He's got two guys with him. They're just hustling. And that's what I love about Peter. He was hustling at the beginning, and he built himself up to buy Chris out. Think of that.
Yeah.
You think of that.
I mean, dude did his thing, man.
Did his thing, man.
So Tim, now is it just you and Joey, or like how you rolling this year?
Just me and Joey, man. Leah's getting on me, though. She wants me to get crews because we're busy. But I'm like...
You kind of want to get through the year and see what happens?
I don't want the headaches, man. Yeah. I got back into window cleaning to get out of the headaches because I went into restaurant management for a bunch of years.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about babysitting. You get what I'm saying? And then we got built up. We were 11 guys at our highest, and that was probably 2017. And it was probably the worst. I make more money now.
Worst year you ever had?
Yeah, I make, because it's just me and Joe in the truck.
Yeah.
I make,
That's what you want now. You know what I mean? Like, priorities change over time.
You know what I want? I want to buy a bar.
Do you?
I
like going to bars, but I don't want to. I mean, like,
no, that's a rough
one in
business,
10
man.
succeed.
No, restaurants are in my blood. Trust me. I mean, I ran an Applebee's for a bunch of years. You know what I mean?
Same-
$3.5
same
million
here.
restaurant. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's in my blood. I want the bar's atmosphere. I was really good at bar service. I was a bartender for a lot of years too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was a bartender
still in the
for 4
wintertime.
years.
Still in the wintertime, I serve tables, man. I enjoy the shit out of it. I don't need to financially. You know what I mean?
You
But
just
I do it. Dude, it pays my weed habit. It pays my, you know what I mean? It pays my habits. Think about this. My habits are almost as expensive as my bills at this point in my life. When you're getting older, I mean, think about you over there, Tanner, with all your tools and stuff. Mine just are like, I'm burning it up in weed. Hey, but you're buying tools and shit like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know,
Habits are expensive.
When I built my shop, we were in the house probably 5 years. It took me another 2 years to get the money to put everything together. It's a modular building, and run the electric and the concrete and everything. I spent 10 years buying tools. You know, I had no money to build anything, but I knew I wanted this, I wanted this, I wanted this. And then so when I ran out of, you know, when I finished buying all the tools I would want to do the projects that I have in front of me, then I was able to, you know, establish more in business. I'm able to, you know, do these projects. So I don't really have to buy anything as far as equipment, but it's an expensive anything. You know, I mean, my wife joking around goes, if we ever get in financial trouble, well, the first place we're going is out back and start selling that shit. I'm like, the hell we are.
No, I think it's healthy to have a hobby, because if you don't have a hobby as a guy, it usually ends up being bad.
You have to have a hobby.
I mean, that's why you drink more, and that's why you do that shit, man.
Yeah.
Dude,
well, I mean, that's why I'm pushing myself into this too. I'm pushing myself into more YouTube, into more what we were doing in the beginning. I'm trying to motivate myself. It's hard, man. I got like 8 or 9 things going on right now, and I don't want to be.
Though. But busy is good, though. Dude.
Busy is better than slow, because it usually leads to self-destruction.
I mean, my happy place is out cleaning a window at this point.
Yeah.
Because nobody can talk to me. I got my music in. I'm just chilling. It's just me in a window. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
that's where I don't have headaches then.
Yeah. We got to get you on that water-fed pole tip, though. Because when you said, you're like, oh, man, I'm too old to learn a new trick. I started water-fed poling last year.
I can't do it, man. The clientele's not there here.
It's a lifesaver for probably 50% of my work.
Yeah,
I get upset when I don't have it. I'm like, God damn it! I wish I had it.
I mean, we're really good at what we do, the way we do it, and we got it. I mean, because we're probably more efficient than any other. Ron, my buddy Ron, the guy that trained me in this 30 years ago, he gets on me all the time. He goes, "You're the guy that don't spend on yourself." Because I won't spend on my business. What do I need? What do I need?
I need $2 or $3 rubbers. You know,
everybody gets on me about my truck, but why do I need a new truck? You know,
you don't need a new truck. If it works, it gets you where you need to go.
I need memories with my kids. I don't need a new truck. You know what I mean? It's the things that are important to you in life. I can clean windows anywhere and everywhere. I've been doing this too long. You know what I mean? There's nobody, but it's just, I'm not building at this point. So it's just me and Joe. We're booked out till August.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know? Yeah. I will tell you this, that extra job you want to get done at the end of the day, but your knees are too sore, your arms hurt. That's water-fed pole. If you know that one day you use it, even if you only use it like 1-2 days a week, you're like, thank God I didn't have to run up and down the ladder 50, 60, 70 times.
I watched Steve-O's video the other day. It was him doing his maintenance on his VI tank or whatever, changing out a filter or something, and it exhausted me watching it.
Well, yeah, it's a video, dude. In reality, that takes 8 minutes to do.
But you
screw it out, dump the resin, president, call it a day.
What I'm saying is there's just steps. No, I don't want to do steps anymore. I want to take a clip out of I want to take a clip out of a squeegee and put a new rubber in. That's what I want to do at this point. I want to remember to wash my towels at night. You know, that's the point of authority I want in my life right now.
It becomes like that. Because I started water-fed poling last year. For the first 17 years of cleaning windows, I'd never even held a water-fed pole. I bought one on a whim, and I was like, I didn't use it for the first 6 months because like, well, it's complicated. I don't want to fucking deal with it. And then the last 6 months, I've really like been working at like getting good at it. And then the second I got it, I was like, oh man, this is like a lifesaver. Like I don't have to like.
But you're
just
still scaling. You're still scaling your business. You're still scaling your business. You get what I'm saying? I'm not.
No, I'm scaling. I'm scaling back down. I'm trying to do high profit, low amount of guys. Like I have 3 trucks, 3 of us. That's it.
I found my spot,
kind of
brother.
the way I want to roll.
You know what I mean? I found my spot. I found my spot in between. I don't mess with the water fed pool guys. They don't mess with me. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you on that.
I've got my cookie cutters. I've got my, I think my biggest house I do is 140 windows. Maybe is the biggest house.
That's a pretty good size house, though.
My average house is 30. You get what I'm saying? So that's where I want to be in life. I want to do my.
Joey is your water fed pole right now.
Yeah, right.
Like
you're probably right. He's young. He's me. He's good, dude. He's better than me. He's so much better than me at this point.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Tim. As you get older, you're in your 40s now. You're going to beat window cleaning beats the body up no matter what. Okay,
buddy.
And eventually, you start to look at something like, well, I could climb up, a 27-foot ladder, or I could bust this pole out, roll the dice, and see how good it comes out. And usually it works out for you. And you say, I'm glad I didn't climb that ladder today. Everything changes in time. I've been doing water-fed poles since 2004, but I'm a firm believer that it's not for everything, and you really need to know basic window cleaning in order to make it effective.
You know what?
It's a tool you have to know when to use them, when not to.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree on somebody like even watch TJ's videos, man. I can watch, but TJ's more mechanically inclined than I am. You get what I'm saying? TJ, what's he doing right now? Putting together a pool and shit?
Yeah.
Digging a big hole.
Bruh, dude. You get what I'm saying? That's probably not me. No.
But I would say it's not as complicated as you think it is. It really is not. It's the technique.
You understand? As a tool set, I own socket set, a couple screwdrivers, and a hammer. That's my tool set. I'm just not that guy. I'm not the.
You know what? I changed my mind. I'm not sure I'm going to be making that trip.
No, it's not like. No, I'm just not. It's just
I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? It's just not my thing. I enjoy watching guys do that, and people do that because it's a skill to me, and it's just not a skill that I have in life.
But see, that to me, it's the exact opposite. For instance, when I was doing barbecue competitions, I built this flat top grill. Okay, because at the competitions I was going to, you could cook more than you're turning, and you could sell it to the public. Okay, there wasn't a physical cash exchange, but they got away with it without health inspectors. Basically, you bought tickets, and then you could trade these tickets in for 3 ribs, or whatever you were selling, and then we turned the tickets in for cash. Okay, well, I learned early on, because the first year I didn't sell a lot, but everything is everything people eat with their eyes is what I'm saying. So the second year, I noticed all the guys selling shit had these, they put the food up in people's faces on racks and everything. So I built a flat top grill that was all made out of 2-inch square tubing, powder coated. It had a griddle, it had grill slates, it had burners under it, and then it had a rack on the top that would fold down, and I could set like 6 slabs of ribs on it, and they would stay warm. Well, as soon as I started putting food in people's faces, they stop when they come by. Oh, I'm going to try those, because it's like going to the fair. You know how they have all that shit stacked up in the window. So I'd sell out, okay, and people would come to me and go, hey, where did you get that flat top grill? That thing is badass. And I'm like, well, I built it. And then they go, well, what was it before it was a grill? And I didn't understand that, because I'm like, well, it's a pile of tubing, I mean, it was a fucking filing cabinet,
I took tubing and put it together.
Yeah. It was a pile of nothing, So then I started to realize that I'm not patting myself on the back, that I knew how to build shit that was functional and looked very professional. So like I've said before, that's my hobby. I love to do that. And my goal is to build something that doesn't look like it was made in a backyard shop.
Well, exactly.
Right.
That's why I'm ordering when you have the time, the system that you have in the back.
I started working on the parts list for that stuff, and I'm really thinking, like I said to.
So you got your retirement set in space, set up already. He just don't know it yet.
Tim, I will videotape what he sends to me when it gets sent to me, like when I ship it to me, and you might consider water-fed pole at that point because it might be the easiest thing in the world. Like once it's in your truck.
I already know what you're talking about. I already know what you're talking. Yeah. I
met up with Mark. Not last winter, the winter before. I caught him I think he was cleaning a furniture store.
Yeah, that was there today. That was the one.
We went to Irish Flynn's or something like that.
Yeah, it was Tilted Kilt.
Yeah, Tilted Kilt. And I met up with him, and I wanted to see his truck. He's got this big truck, all fucking. What do you have, like
35s? That's my smaller truck, but it's got 35s on it.
Yeah. It's high. So Mark comes over to it, fucking hops in, hops out, pulls the thing down, and wants to show me his water-fed pole system. To be honest with you, it should be on the market. What he has in his truck.
Well, probably most of Mark has should be on the market. You get what I'm saying? Because he's out there doing it every day. And he's got the crews, and he's got the
system from WCR, and it's a great system. But what Mark has in the back of his truck, needs to exist outside of Mark's truck. It needs to be something people can have.
Yeah, the thing that it's 100% function, and everything has, because it's designed by somebody that's done this for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Like when we talked about, I said I could incorporate either a ladder rack on the top of it, or we could put a pole holder up there. And that would, I only realized that after mine was done when I was working at a college and I had to move from building to building. I didn't want to close the tailgate and wrap everything up. I'd set the pole on the top of it through the lifting hook. There's a lifting hook to take it out. I'd slide the pole through there, throw the bungee across it, and I mean, it looks like it belongs. It looks like it was made that way on purpose.
Looking at your system there too. I mean, speaking out of school here, there could be a secondary pump on that.
Oh yeah.
And I could have another 55-gallon tank with bleach and do soft wash and doing.
Yeah.
That setup sets up a lot of other options for you.
Seth, I thought about that just the other day, expanding on it and having a double wide system. One side of it is pure water RODI with a 50-gallon tank and its own pump, and then in the same skid, is going to be soft wash or pressure wash 50-gallon buffer tank. I mean, it'd be so easy just to take what I've already got and then add to it.
Yeah. Basically, all you're doing is doubling. But what I'm saying is
you guys are talking code to these guys, and they don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You realize that, right?
No,
you guys are talking for 5 minutes. They don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Luke said come look at his system. So Luke just gave us an invite to go to KC. I'm going to show up at his door and make him do a video. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Make him do a video. It's been like forever. He's gone longer than me than making a video.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the man bought a house, has renovated it, and also probably got tired of everyone's bullshit online being like, "Oh, you clean this, you do that. What about this? What about that?" You know what I mean? That shit gets old, man. I mean, Tim, yours was how I found TJ and Mark was I saw your videos first. And I was like, oh, this guy does all traditional. I watched you do your thing. And then you had a video on your website of TJ. And then I saw that TJ started a window cleaning podcast. I harassed him until he let me come on. And that was 2 years ago. Yeah, I was like, let me come on, man. I'm like, you don't have fucking anybody on here. Let me go.
Yeah, let's do it.
And that's how I met Mark. That's how I met TJ.
Yeah.
How I started talking to you is.
Well, you know what?
Started from your
1 year since he's done a video next month. Is that ridiculous? And he still gets more views than me. How sad are we?
Yeah, but you get to a point where you can show so much, and then you at least TJ.
Yeah, but no. They got us into the house. They got us into he was training. He was doing all that, and then he just cut it. That's a bitch move. I mean, you gotta show us the. Now, I'm not calling you anything, Luke. I'm just saying that sucked right there. That you got to show us more. You got to show us what's going on. I want to see the house. I want to see. Are you guys? I mean, I was thinking they were pregnant or something, so they just died off for a little bit.
No, I think they bought a house.
They're gonna come back with a baby or something. You know what I mean? A house
they had to do work to, and then their business was growing.
Yeah, they were getting.
I'm not trying to speak for Luke here. I'm just saying, in my mind, you do what 3 or 4 years worth of videos, you get enough shit going like, hey, this is how you use this fucking tool. Hey, here's how you use this, and people go, well, they started calling him.
No, he was getting more into his
that.
life though. He was getting more into his life, and that's it's the same thing all YouTubers are doing though. All the bigger guys, they get burnt out and they quit for a while. We just want you back, Luke. We want to see what's going on.
The thing is though, the whole YouTube thing and the social media thing, you got to have really thick skin. Me personally, I don't post that often. I put up a job I did today just because I felt like sharing something. But you got to have thick skin because nothing frosts my ass more than I'll put up a job, a building or something. And, I try to show something that would show, put up something that's interesting, at least a job other than a fucking storefront. And it's like, immediately you got someone going, oh, I would have done it this way. No, you wouldn't do it that way, stupid. Yeah. Here's the reason. No, and it bugs me.
The difference between that and him is, though, he's already been through that. We went through the wars and shit like that, and he's been through a lot of shit. He edited good videos. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He did the right things. He built that all on his own.
Meeting Luke last year changed my perspective on video Luke and what he really was like. Yeah. And I really liked what he was like in person. Well, no, he makes a video and he's like, "Hey, how are you guys?" But then you meet him, and you're like, "Oh, you're a regular guy."
But you know what the thing is though, because him and Rihanna do the videos, and if I'm not mistaken, some of them are done at their house. And then they share a lot of their private life.
Mark, I think your son might have a question for you.
What's up, JT?
Tucker's biting hard, so can I use these to play with them?
You could. Yeah, you don't have. Yeah, you can play with the welding. Shut the. He's playing with Tucker. Tucker's biting hard, so he wants to welding.
Luke, fair enough, man.
Luke does something better than I can do, and a lot of guys on YouTube. He can teach. He's got that teacher mentality. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a horrible trainer. I'm probably, if you want somebody trained horribly, put them with me.
Well,
you get what I'm saying?
I considered starting a channel, and then I watched 3 or 4 people that are probably better window cleaners than me, and how much shit they got, and I was like, nah, I'm good. I'll be the drunk guy on a podcast and move on with my life.
Well, Luke's always got it because he's the top guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's the top guy.
But as I was saying, you got to be willing to open your private life up to the world the way he brings people into the YouTube. And you know what I'm saying? And that's just not for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
When he comes back, he'll come back strong. Think about it.
Yeah.
He's probably getting amazing views right now. And he's not posted a video in almost a year.
Still at this point, YouTube isn't paying your fucking bills, man.
No.
Your company's paying your bills. I come on here, I talk a lot of shit. I say what I have to say. I may have more information to pass along to people than, maybe I think I have. But at the end of the day, I do this for fucking fun. You know what I mean? I do this to talk to my buddies. Honestly, I come on here, I'm like, I haven't seen Mark and TJ. It killed me last week that I couldn't be on because I was TJ had a fucking rant going. I was like, God damn it, I wish it was on.
Dude,
that was good.
That was that big.
Yeah.
We couldn't even say anything. It was just like, wow, okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Okay, we'll just let it go.
The original crew, back on though. I was like, oh man, I like this. Yeah, this is fun. But it's one of those things. I could tell you where I'm at and be like, oh, you can do this, you can do that, and 20 other people would tell me I'm wrong, and your business isn't doing that. So it's like, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have fun with it and do what works for you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So have you guys talked Cam Newton yet?
No, because I haven't. Mark doesn't love football, so
I'm not.
Have we not talked about this yet? Is this the craziest thing that's happening in football right now?
If you're asking a New England fan, I don't think Cam Newton's the starter.
You're crazy.
And Cam Newton's going to be the quarterback. Is that what
he got Carolina to the Super Bowl, bro, and he's got a team like New England set up for him. Come on,
5 years ago, and do you remember that Super Bowl performance?
1 year contract.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, because he was spooked. But he's got a team now. He's got a line now. He's got a line now. You get what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, if he's the starter,
boy,
I'm not upset about it, but I just don't see him fitting in a New England offense, which is precision passes, 7 to 10 yards up the middle. Like, he's a good.
That's what they're expecting every game. It's going to be different this year.
Yeah,
he's got 1 year contract, so it's going to be amazing no matter what.
I wouldn't be surprised with Belichick in the division we have if we went 11-5 and we met Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. I'm not saying I wouldn't be surprised, but I think Stidham is the future.
Yeah,
watching Stidham play, he's a first-round talent that transferred. There's a lot of stuff about Stidham that I like. But I think Cam Newton is the sacrificial lamb. Stidham, you can't go Brady for 20 years and then try to put the successor in game one. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's unless you have a Steve Young. You know what I mean? Like that's just
or a
how it works.
Guy up in Green Bay. What's his name?
Well, but Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 years. 3 years.
Right.
So Stidham's only sat 1.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
He's not ready.
And then so you let Cam take the heat for year 2,
right? And
then Stidham's year 3.
You think 11-5? You don't think they're better than that?
No. Have you seen this team?
I
think 11-5 isn't a good year. I know 95% of the teams in this league would take 11-5.
Oh, sure. But I'm just saying,
you're probably 3 seed.
Yeah, but Giants have a team though this year.
Who
at all? Giants?
Well, they're in the NFC, so I don't worry about that.
Oh, I don't know. I'm fucking thinking.
Do you mean the Bills?
Yes.
Jets?
Sorry,
Jets have no team. Bills have a team.
Bills have a team every year. They have the best 9-7 team every other fourth year.
They could go 10-6 this year, and Miami could go 8-8. I think this division's a little better than people think, but 11-5 gives you the 3rd seed. KC's number 1, Baltimore's probably number 2, and then the Pats. My guess. I don't know what's going to happen, but
I don't know, man. What do you think the playoffs?
Mahomes is a beast. Man.
What do you think about basketball? Let's go through sports real quick. NBA playoffs. Who's got it?
Well, all right. Do you want me to go like Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals? Like,
Who's got the whole thing? You think LA is going to do it this year?
No.
That'd be awesome. No. Let's see that.
But I think LA goes. And then you have Milwaukee. You have LA, Milwaukee, Celtics could win it. Those 3 teams could win it. Maybe the Rockets. Man,
it'd be nice to see Celtics Lakers in the finals again, wouldn't it?
I would love it.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
I don't see this Celtic team as like a little too young to do that, but Milwaukee, I would love to watch Milwaukee Celtics, Lakers, Rockets, like that Eastern Conference, Western Conference Finals.
Yep.
That would be nice.
All right, NHL real quick. NHL, who's going to stay in the cup?
I mean, if you're asking me, the Bruins are going in the East.
I'm going from Jackets, you know that.
I know, but we have Pasternak, maybe the greatest goal scorer besides Ovechkin in the entire league, and we already showed 2 points what was up. So
yeah, you know that's right.
Actually, that might have been the toughest play in the whole playoffs, though.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good game. That was a good series. Everything's a good series. Everything in hockey I love, and when it gets playoffs.
You and me were talking shit back and forth because that won 7 games. I remember you like, oh yeah, fuck the Bruins, and we went back and forth up until that was maybe one of the best playoff series I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, we'll see what happens this year though. They were trying to get a good lottery pick and they didn't get it. All right, last thing, baseball. Who's gonna go for it this year? With a shortened season.
Yankees, Nationals, in my mind. Yankees have a really good team. Nationals still have a really good team. 60-game season. That's what I see.
Perfect. I'm going to hold you to that. Yankees, Nationals. All right, Mark, let's go. Hey, Leah.
Let's go what?
Your turn.
I wasn't paying attention or something.
Oh, God damn it.
He goes Devil Rays.
You know I'm not a sports guy. I mean, I watch my Dolphins, and I watch them lose. And I watch the Patriots because I live with the wife that's a Pats fan. Be interesting to see how they do this year. Be interesting.
I'm excited. I mean, that got me excited for football with that little trade right there.
I don't know, man. I'm still not happy about all this fucking unpatriotic bullshit going on in all sports. That's just me.
I did my little
rant
thing. Well, I cut my cable, man. That's the only way I can get back at anybody. It's the only way I can get back at ESPN.
Do you see it unpatriotic? Like I mean,
I see it's fucking disgusting. Okay.
Here we go. Now we got this conversation. Good job, Mark.
I'm curious to see your points of view, like why it's unpatriotic. Like what do you mean unpatriotic? I'm just curious. Like I'm not like being a dick. I'm just
no. I believe that.
I do believe it's the right.
The sacrifices that have been made for this country to become what it is or what it was up 2 months ago, okay, from the military and everything else, and we've built an amazing country. I think it's a slap in the face, okay, to anyone that has served or to anyone that has died defending this country to fucking kneel or to stand on our flag or anything like that. I mean,
well, no, standing on a flag, I agree with. Kneeling, though, if you look at it objectively, like I don't love Kaepernick, and I think Kaepernick did what he did because he dated a girl who was an activist and he was trying to get pussy.
I agree with you
like
right
that's
now.
What that dude was up to. Like he didn't give a shit about none of that. But
TJ said the right thing.
He did ask a Marine, and he said what would be respectful, and he said kneeling would be more respectful than like doing nothing at all.
Well, I mean, listen, TJ said, then take it out of the sport. They died so we could kneel. I mean, that's it. That really is. So you have to protest in your own way. And my only protest was to cut the cable and cut their money. So I can't be opposed because I'm going to go and patronize a restaurant now to go watch it. I'm still going to watch it.
But what about
You know what
Jesse
I'm
Owens? What about every guy who's like, taking a stand for, you know what I mean? Like he stood on a podium, put his hand up, did this, you know what I mean?
That was different. That was a lot different than that. I mean, this is not it's not 1936. It's not. No. Nothing's ever going to be.
That.
I said it last week, and I'm going to say it right now. You want to fix racism by 50%? Let the coronavirus do its thing and kill all the Jim Crow era people. Period. Other than that, let's talk about heroin deaths because we're up 55% in Ohio right now over last year. It's horrible. We're losing more people to heroin than coronavirus. I don't want to hear about it's all political. This Neil thing is political. Fuck politics at this point because we're debating on right and left right now.
Yeah, you're right.
Be that.
No,
and we should be doing
I
that.
agree. I agree with that.
Get rid of racism. Go colorblind. Let's all just be fucking human.
But
because this is getting ridiculous at this point.
I don't have to like it. You know what I mean? Like I don't like some of the stuff being said, but your right to protest, your right to your First Amendment right is, I mean, people use their platforms all the time to like. I don't necessarily agree with it, but like if you step on this, then you're going to step on the other side. Like that's just how I see it. It's like either everyone says whatever they're feeling or nobody says what they're feeling.
This political climate is so easy. No, this political climate is so easy to become a hypocrite, and I hate being a hypocrite. You get what I'm saying? It's so easy because if I oppose you doing that, but and it's fucking and it's bullshit right now.
It's a hard spot.
Right.
But like the protesting the anthem, protesting the flag shit like needs to go. Like I'm sorry, like you can protest certain things, but you can't protest that shit. Like,
hey, I cost
national anthem is like
$7.27 a month. That's all I know. I cost CNN $5.34 a month. That's all I know. I'm happy about that. That's my protest. That's how I protested the Neil flag. I'm still going to go patronize a restaurant. I'm still going to drink my Bud Lights, and I'm still going to sit there and watch football. I'm a football guy. I'm just not going to support the what's going on because TJ's right. If they're going to kneel, I mean, if it's that big of a deal, take it the fuck out.
Yeah, I agree.
Take it the fuck out.
Yeah.
If it's divide the nation, take it the fuck out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Like, you have 50% of the country that feels this way, 50% of the country that feels the other way, and I feel like, I just think it's weird to protest the national anthem. I think it's weird to protest, the Star Spangled Banner.
Well,
but like,
I think it's
that's just me.
Like government, but they're protesting us because that's ours. That shit's ours. The government works for us. None of that shit's ever been theirs. It's ours.
No, we pay for it.
And we chose this shit that we're in right now. This is our fault. It's not the government's. It should never be the government to help us out. It should be us helping each other out. We should never depend on the government.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, I mean,
I got a thing I found from 1927, 20 years ago. I found it up in an attic one day, and it's receipts from a guy. And I probably said this on the podcast before. It's receipts from the guy from the Buckeye Auto Club, and people used to pay $10 a year to belong to an auto club, and they're the ones that handled infrastructure on roadways, and they're the ones that dealt with, and these are private businesses. They're the ones that dealt with the judges in your cases for speeding and shit like that. They're the ones that dealt with this. It wasn't lawyers and all this shit. It was just one little auto club that you paid.
Oh, yeah,
AAA actually handled a lot of this until 1940, and then it all went government.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just we can privatize a lot of shit and not have to lean on the government so damn much. I don't know. I'm just sick of being divided by politics.
Tim, what you're telling me is you're a libertarian.
Well, probably. I feel like
if I looked at my views one day, I'm a libertarian. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I'm always in the middle. I mean, people get me on abortion a little bit, but I don't like murder. I don't like that shit. And I get there's times that women's rights, God bless you, do whatever the fuck you want. Rights aren't for murder. But if you wanna, I get rape and I get incest, we should absolutely. That's a medical procedure that should be handled every time. But we got to get away from killing babies, man. We have
to. To be honest, we have to fix institutions in this country that do not help mothers in need. So we have to fix adoption. Adoption in this country sucks. Foster in this country sucks. So when that's, if foster and adoption is actually a viable option for a lot of people in this country, I think abortions would drop naturally. You know what I mean? I really do. I really do think if it was streamlined, it would work way better.
2 years to adopt a kid. We actually had two friends that spent 2 years trying to adopt a kid. It takes a long time.
Why is it that probably difficult? A lot of money too, right?
You know what I mean?
After $75,000 a kid with all the court costs and everything. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's almost like they don't want you to. You know what I mean? It's almost like they don't want it to happen.
If it wasn't for orphanages and shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, you need a license to fish, a license to hunt, a license to drive a car. You can have as many goddamn kids as you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, it's
well, as long as you incentivize it, it's always going to be that way. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I wouldn't exist on this planet without abortion, to be completely honest with you. So
either would I.
I'm stuck in a weird middle where I'm like, well, I mean, like, how am I supposed to feel about this? You know what I mean?
My mom was 14 years old, and my grandma tried to get my mother to go to the abortion clinic when she had me. So think of that. I mean, I'm just, and my mom's a born again Christian. I've been on picket lines since I was like, it's just weird. Yeah. It's never been a right for me.
But I feel like that should be a right? You know what I mean? Like, you should have a conversation about this. Like, it should be allowed to have. Like, someone should have a right side, a left side, someone in the middle. Like,
I'm in the middle every time.
I just feel like America's gone, like, you're either this or you're that, and there's no, like, middle ground.
There is no more middle ground.
Ohio went to the heartbeat law. Ohio went to the heartbeat law, but I think that's going to be turned over by Supreme Court. So that's no ifs, ands, or buts. I just don't want to go see it go too far crazy. I don't want heartbeat maybe a little soon if somebody doesn't know the pregnant. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what the middle ground is on that, but I know that I don't know, man. I
think healthy discussion is probably the best way to handle it. You know what I mean? Like, seeing both sides, having empathy for both the mother and the child really matters. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I know we've gone.
I would like to look at climate change. I would like to look at that shit, but I can't because it's political.
You know what I mean? I think everything follows, like, everything gets politicized nowadays. Like, you used to just have an opinion, and it didn't mean you were left or right. You just had an opinion, and now it's
tolerance is gone. If someone doesn't agree with your idea, you're a racist, or you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. I would say me and Mark probably agree politically about 15 to 20%, and I would consider Mark a good friend.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like,
I got a lot of friends that I consider to be left wing. So if they get overboard and just post shit after shit after shit, most of it, of course, I get on the fence and say, well, that's fake anyway. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I just choose not. I just fucking unfollow them. We're still friends.
Any of the shit Mark posts is either trolling or he's looking for a laugh anyway.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'll read it and go, God damn it, Mark.
Well, you know what? Though,
Honestly,
I do know I have this. I think it's an issue where I just all of a sudden feel passive aggressive, so I want to fucking attack someone. Yeah. So I'll post something. Yeah, so I'll post something so that I'm waiting for some asshole to fucking comment on it so I can rip them up. You know what I'm saying? That's not a good place to be. I'm not proud of that. You know.
No, but I also know where your posts are coming from. Usually from like a shit starting, I want to laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not meant to be like, you know, I this is the only way to see something.
Yeah.
It's more like, I think this is funny, and I'm going to post it and see what happens.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I think people lose nuance sometimes.
No, they do. And sometimes what's funny to me is way too far over the top to most people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they shouldn't be friends with you because I've seen your Facebook and I'm like, well, he's pretty consistent.
And I mean, it's just like all this coronavirus nonsense. All of a sudden, if you go down in our local news things, I mean, people are bringing up Charlottesville things from Trump. I mean, this is how sad it is at this point.
Well, no, it gets politicized, right? Like, so my girlfriend works on a COVID floor. It's all she handles is COVID patients every day. All day. That's all she does. So it's very real. And like basic things are going to stop basic problems, right?
Yeah.
I go in a store, I throw a mask on. I don't want to wear the mask. It's fucking hot out. I don't want to go in people's houses and clean windows, but I'm being respectful of someone else because I don't know if
what they have. You don't know
if it can help, well, then I'm doing something. If it's not doing anything, at least I was annoyed for like a half an hour.
Bro,
you know what I mean? Like in the reality of the whole situation, I'm inconvenienced 20 minutes. But when it gets politicized, that's when I have a problem, right? When they're like, well, Trump did this. Well, no, it's a pandemic, motherfucker. Like,
but here's the thing, Seth. It's totally political because you didn't hear a fucking thing about it for 3 weeks in a row while they were burning down fucking storefronts and stealing shit from Target.
That's where it gets disingenuous. Either it's real or it's not. And if it's real, then all this stuff that everyone's doing is, especially since they've said that minorities are for a higher rate of infection because based off of money and all that stuff. I get your right to protest. And
money? What's money got to do with that?
Wear a mask.
It's all blood type, man. It's got nothing to do with color. It's all blood type. Period. So maybe blacks are more A positive than O positive, but it's all blood type.
Well, no, your access to healthcare, your access to a good doctor.
I have no access to healthcare. Come on, get the fuck out of here with that shit. I don't want to hear that. No, because I don't have insurance, bro. I don't have any of that.
No. But I'm not saying you.
There's a fucking hospital right down the road if I get sick, bro. You got urgent cares everywhere.
I don't have insurance either. What I'm saying though is this group here predominantly
are they smart enough to go to the hospital? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm just saying they live in areas where the access to health is.
There's hospitals every other. Columbus has 27 hospitals. There's a hospital within walking distance. You can call an ambulance, bro. Don't tell me 911. Everybody, they don't have phones. They not have phones.
Just statistics are just saying, right?
What statistics? You telling me they don't know how to dial 911?
No, I'm not saying they can't. Like,
I'm just saying.
I'm saying is their access to certain healthcare is different. Demographics matter. No, you can live in the same demographic as a poor white person and a poor black person, right?
The best hospitals are in the ghetto. Every time. The best hospitals are in the ghetto. The worst hospitals are where I live. They fly you to Columbus if you have a heart issue. So if I have a heart attack right now, I've got to go to this hospital and to get flown to Columbus to even be treated. The best hospitals are in the ghetto. So don't give me that bullshit. They're all in the liberal cities. The campus hospitals are in the cities. We got Riverside, we got Grant, we got all the main children's hospitals in the middle of the ghetto. Middle of the ghetto.
But here's the thing. Wait a minute.
You ever seen that show? You ever seen that show with the McDonald's guy where he ate it for 30 days?
Yeah.
That Super Size Me, that documentary. That was right next to Children's Hospital in the ghetto in Columbus. One of the best children's hospitals in America is in the middle of a ghetto. So don't tell me they don't have access. I mean, that's crazy.
No, but Tim,
it's crazy talk.
I'm thinking that what they're talking about, the inner cities getting it is one thing and dying from it is another. So dying from it is a healthcare issue, right? A hospital issue.
Sure.
Getting it is the environment you live in. Like in Italy, it spread fast because everybody lives stacked up.
Yeah.
In these,
you know.
and that's what I was trying to say. Like your access stuff, right? Like when you live right in 2 to 3 generation homes, like Italy is.
Exactly.
Italy is 2 to 3 generation homes, right? Like that's just how they do things there. And in our country, how that works is like inner city, small neighborhoods. Grandma lives with your mom, who lives with you, right?
Yes.
So maybe you're not susceptible, but you give it to grandma, and now grandma's got it, your mom's got it.
Yep.
And just they're like living in a tight quarter like that changes how everything works. I'm not saying like they're not going to treat a black person like they treat a white person. What I'm saying is they're more susceptible to it being in close quarters.
Exactly.
Or ventilation in poorer areas just breeds us, like, you know what it's like. You know, if you ever look,
I know there's a lot of white people in that same general area, bro. I mean, everybody that's poor is susceptible. Let's not just put a color on it.
I'm just saying. So
let's
like
go colorblind and say everybody that's poor is susceptible. I mean, because that's really the truth in the matter.
Of course,
we're politicizing the fact that one group of people and blacks are in it. So we're going to go politicize that and not just say the whole poor, which are Mexicans, whites, every color you got. They're all susceptible because they all live in the same situation is what I'm saying. I bet you.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with the social. I believe more in a class system is the problem than anything else. But just the numbers coming out is like, if you look at what the numbers are, right? Black people are 3 times more susceptible to get it than you and I, just in a statistic manner. I'm not saying that, like, you know, if
that is a class that's a class category. Then that's not actually a real fact. So it's a poor class because in our country we like to keep black people poor. It's not what we do. It's just the programs and the systems we put in place since the 60s. That's the problem with our world. So I mean, we got a 78% fatherless black home issue right now. I mean, that means that we got a lot of single moms out there raising babies right now.
And jammed them in like 9 cities. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the problem.
But again, we got a lot of Hispanics, and I mean, how many illegal immigrants we got bunking up in 25 people in a 2-bedroom home? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's a poor category. We need to quit putting a color on it.
No, I know. But if you look at, you know, I mean, if you look at what America has decided to do with, you know, it's the first country in the entire world, right, that freed slaves and then lived with them. You know what I mean? Like Rome, Greece, all that, like, had slaves, sent them back home, and never really kind of had to deal with that dynamic, right? Like, so there's like this weird dynamic, right? Like where, like, you know, you've enslaved a class of people, freed them, and then tried to integrate it, but no one's really willing to integrate, and it causes this like weird dynamic that's gone on in this country.
Right.
And I think, you know, like you have a lot of policies that are happening in this country that have caused like weird dynamics, right? You know what I mean? Like, not saying it's good, bad, or indifferent. It's just.
Hey, let's talk about the real future real quick. The real future is what I got going on. You know, I've got a little black girl that's been here every day of my life for 17 years. My niece. I've got nieces and nephews that are black. I've got grandchildren that are black, Guatemalan, Mexican. I got a Mexican son. I've got a Mexican stepmom. That's the real future of America. We keep colorizing it, and it needs to go away because I don't look at them as a different color. I look at them as my family. And the problem is well, exactly. But I mean, we color people, and it just needs to go away.
No, it does. I think we need to make a system where that does go away, where you don't have, if you're left, you believe in this, if you're right, you believe in that. Like, I feel like there's this middle ground that should happen at some point in time.
Yeah.
But we should also drink 1 million Bud Lights and see what happens from there. Because that's more fun.
But I mean, that's just I don't know, man. I was actually while I was waiting on to get on here. I was debating.
I got.
What's Jason got?
I love TJ. Just pick my nose already. I don't need to. Lehman, masks don't stop the virus. My friend, that's scientifically incorrect, but I love you.
I don't, dude.
Yeah.
Jason science is politicized now.
Jason Lehman? Jason Lehman's like a 6'4". Like, I'm 6 foot tall, and Jason Lehman made me feel like a tiny.
Well, his beard's kind of a mask, right?
Huh? His beard is like he could just fold it up and tape it. You know what I mean? It's to fucking here, anyways. Jason Lehman's one of my favorite people I ever met. Like,
let me ask you a question, Seth. Yeah. This is strictly medical because your girl is working in the COVID lab. The particles that make a fart stink, are they bigger or smaller than a virus? Right? Dude, the other day I'm in the grocery store. My wife sends me in for some vegetables. Now, as you guys know me well enough to know that the vegetable department is not a place that I normally frequent in the grocery store, okay?
Yeah.
I'm standing there looking for purple lettuce or some red curly leaf lettuce. I don't know, some shit, right? I'm staring at this shelf. It's right in front of me, but I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. There's a woman patiently waiting behind me, right? I was on my way home from work. I stopped with one of my guys. We had some tacos. My stomach was upset. And I finally find the lettuce. And, dude, I dropped this fucking Mexican garlic fart in the grocery store, you know. And this is the way I run this hobby, okay? So I grabbed the lettuce. I dropped the fart. I immediately circle back around with the cart to make sure she's enjoying this fart, right? This woman was possibly Russian because she had this fucking Chernobyl-like flashback on her fucking face. So my question is, if I can still smell a fart through a N98 mask, is it really stopping a virus?
No. So what you're doing with a mask is what TJ just said is they've already done the test. It exists. You can go on YouTube and find this. Someone talking for 5 minutes, someone talking, singing, and someone having a small conversation. What you're doing is you're stopping about 90 to 95% of the bacteria that would hit you with no mask.
Okay.
Right?
Man, everybody's going to be so sick in the fall, bro.
Yeah. So what you're doing is stopping your spit particles, which is where they really believe that most of this lives in. Right? So wearing a mask when you're talking to somebody is not protecting you, you're protecting them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You're stopping your spit
up your immune system.
Not true.
Come on.
I think you recover pretty quick.
In a day,
but I mean,
you have to wear a mask. How often are you wearing a mask?
I don't.
Wearing a mask?
When I'm requested by a customer, that's it.
All right. Yeah. So maybe an hour or two
every other 3 days.
My girlfriend wears a mask 12 hours a day, 3 days a week.
Year round, though.
Not necessarily. Depends on her situation. Depending on like what she's dealing with. You know what I mean? Okay. Like if you're dealing with a drunk in normal situations, which is actually most of her work, which are like fucking drunks trying to recover, she's not wearing a mask. But in those circumstances, it has not affected her health in any sort of way. What I would tell you is if you have the ability to be outside and get fresh air like we do, don't wear a fucking mask. If you're 6 to 8 feet away, don't wear a mask. If you walk in a store for 45 minutes, wear a fucking mask and then move on with your day. Take it off.
Well, I can tell you this. I don't know how it is by you. Florida, it's mandatory. Any indoor commercial space, they won't let you in without a mask. They'll give you a mask. You don't have a mask, we'll give you a mask, but you're not coming in without it.
They stand at the door and they'll hand you one. Yeah, same thing, Mom. Same thing there. And I'm assuming probably same thing in Ohio. Is probably same. No mask. No mask rules.
No mask. Nope.
Yeah, no, it's surprising. I would just say, like, when you're dealing with a virus, spit, fluid, all that stuff matters.
Yeah. You know how I know Trump's going to win?
What?
Because every house I go to, that's the first thing I ask. Do you need me to have a mask on? No.
I don't even ask. I put it on just because I put it on, man.
No, I do it. No, listen. I'm talking union teachers. All the old Democrats are all done. They're done. The left lost them all. They lost them all.
I would think so after all this shit.
No, I'm telling you, they lost them all. This is going to be worse than Mondale Reagan. I'm telling you, it's going to be.
I hope so.
Oh no!
Did you see? You guys see?
Biden's going to lose.
Dude, Biden is not even going to make it through the first fucking debate.
No, I mean, but my problem is
a way to cancel
Biden
those.
Trump. It's that why is Biden even a?
We're going on lockdown. Hey, we're going on lockdown September 1st. Quote me on that right now. We're all going on lockdown September 1st. This thing's going to somehow make a mad rush September 1st.
Well, let me ask you guys what's your opinion of this, because here's the only issue I have. I wear the mask when I have to. I went and talked to a customer today. I did glass restoration for a guy. He was impressed with my equipment. I sent him to WCR. He placed an order for window cleaning tools. He's a private residence guy, but he wants good shit, okay? So he got his stuff, or he wanted me to come by and give him a quick lesson. Absolutely. I'll give you a half hour of my time. You know, I went over there. I knock on the door. I have my mask in my hand. He goes, "Do you want me to wear a mask?" And I go, "You know what?" I said, "I'm outside your house. We're fine. We'll keep some distance here." I showed him what he needed to do. It was fucking 98 degrees out. You know, I understand the point. As long as it's agreed. But here's the issue I'm having. From what I've seen, and you never know what to believe, there's a lot of stuff out there about these tests, the nasal swab, not being accurate. Like my wife knows
50%.
Oh yeah, man! I just got tested the other day. I have to go to Maine. And those swabs don't even know if you have it or not. Yeah,
it's 50% false positive, man.
Well, my wife knows a woman that one of her kids tested positive with the nasal swab. So the whole fucking family went through it. They all tested positive. One of the children, they said, do the blood test instead, and the blood test came back negative. So then the rest of the family went for the blood test, and they were all negative. So if the numbers, never mind the deaths that supposedly are being covered up, okay? And I have another story about that.
Yeah.
If the fucking numbers aren't right, and if that's starting to lean towards politics, I have a fucking huge issue with all of this.
Of course you should have a problem with that. I agree 100%, but I'm saying strictly medical-wise, right? I'm not saying the CDC isn't paid by somebody. I'm not saying that, WHO isn't paid by somebody, and they're marking these numbers up. What I am saying is, if you have to wear a mask for 30 minutes in a store or 15 minutes here and there, and it's protecting other people. Dude. I mean, there's a reason states that have had mask laws opposed to states who don't have lower numbers, right? Like, the science just is there. They don't know if it's airborne. There's so many parts of this disease we don't know how it works, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously been modified by human beings. I'm like, this shouldn't exist, but...
So, again, people say, hey,
airborne, the fucking mask wouldn't work.
Happen. Ask my boy. He's back. He got all his questions on here. I can't even read them quick enough to say anything between these guys. Sorry about that. So anyway, the people say this couldn't be a political virus, but how couldn't it? If it was lab made, China's obviously not our friend.
Everything's political.
Look, let me tell you one thing, okay? And Seth, you don't need.
China will kill their own people for nothing, man. You know that.
Yeah, but I had a buddy. I've talked about it. Spent 3.5 weeks on a ventilator. Wasn't expected to make it. He has permanent nerve damage, not from the meds, not from the intubation, not from any of that. The nerve damage is from the fucking virus. Okay. I would be more, without knowing him, okay, and watching him and speaking to his wife on a daily basis for 3.5 weeks, and now speaking to him now that he's back into society, okay, I would be a lot more, this is a fucking bunch of bullshit, okay, but hearing about it firsthand and knowing what he went through, and so I'm cautious, but the issue is, this all lines up in a fucking election year, and it's just like, it just seems to me that they're just throwing as much shit as they can. And other countries that have opened up completely, not one other country in Europe or anywhere has had this thing take the fuck back off or get any worse. So there is no reason that we need to shut this country down.
Well, no, they're not, like, herd immunity could be a real thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like as most viruses work, like, herd immunity is like how you fix shit. All I'm saying is that when you don't know what it is, wearing a mask for 20, 30 minutes, as TJ called me a numbnut for saying most people wear it for 8 hours. I agree.
Look, I don't fucking drive in my truck.
With that
I don't drive in my truck even if I got a 50 degree ice cold air blowing in my face with a fucking mask on.
If you're in your truck wearing a mask, you're a fucking dumbass.
Idiot. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if you're outside working, cleaning windows, you don't need a fucking mask. But if you're going to be around somebody you haven't been around for 10 or 15 minutes, either stand 6 feet apart or put a mask on.
Man, I take a daily... I take a daily supplement.
Nobody knows how this is working because it's fucking new. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a new thing. But to say it's not fucking real is not
build my immune system. I don't want to tear it down, is what I'm saying. I'm trying to build my immune system at my age. I don't want to get sick. I don't want the flu to come back in the fall and be the worst flu in history because we're all wearing masks. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Let me tell you one thing, though.
There's going to be repercussions from this where, like, it's going to take a long time to figure out what the fuck's going on with this thing.
Here's a couple things that just stick out in my mind that no one's going to be able to answer this. Number one, in New York, the outbreak is fucking huge, okay? Everybody loved Cuomo for a week, then they hated Cuomo, and he's crying for 40,000 ventilators. And then to find out, according to what I've seen online in multiple places and multiple news, that he took sick elderly people that went into the hospital and put them back into assisted care facilities when they said there is no way that we're equipped to handle this. When he had that fucking ship that nobody was using converted over for COVID, because originally they brought the ship and they were going to put COVID.
He's already blaming Trump for everything.
Oh yeah,
after he thanked him for everything, now he's blaming him.
Cuomo really has handled this situation very fucking poorly, and if anything, he might. This is all said and done, might get tried for how many fucking elderly people died under his watch. Is ridiculous. But on the other end of it, Trump has stated shit that it just is not fucking scientifically proven. I like the guy. You know what I mean? I look at him as a wrestler. Like, how I see Trump, like, personally, like, sitting in the middle, he talks shit online. He says whatever the fuck he wants. He goats people. He fucks with people. But he also says things that are not, like, 100% true.
Okay, like, I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that.
Listen,
he is fun to watch.
He's got some of the smartest advisors sitting in his office giving him daily briefings. And we want to tell Trump what he doesn't know is what I don't understand. You get what I'm saying? Obviously, when he's saying that stuff that he's talking about, they were in testing and shit like that. That's what I'm saying. He knows more shit than we do.
No,
and
of course.
The news media wants to pick apart whatever this little minuscule thing is. It's that's the divide. I get Trump, but again, it's not a president that makes law. The people that make law are the ones we don't have term limits for.
No, it's your
the ones we don't have term limits for.
No. You need term limits.
You want to fix this country? Give term limits to Congress.
Yeah, like Congress passes law. I mean, like that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Right. Why do we blame the president for everything?
But at the same point in time,
we could have them. They could be worried
about their seats.
Right.
To pass anything. Term limits. Yeah, term limits should 100% happen. We also take a third-party system that actually works in this country.
I'll take a third and a fourth. I don't care.
I mean, if you give me a fourth, I mean, I feel like we should work on the third first, but I'll take a fourth.
Right. Let's go for it all. I don't care.
I'm just saying, left third, like a right fourth. Like I'll take somewhere in between. You know, like when Bill Weld ran this last one. I wanted to vote for him. I mean, he got a little fucking crazy about everything, like being like every narcotic is legal. I was like, well,
every third party is always a little crazy.
Hey, like, think about what you're saying before, like you say what you're doing. But I don't know.
Let me tell you a story.
I'm a window cleaner that's out here on a podcast talking shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know anything. I'm just hanging out talking shit. You know?
Well, that's what it's all about. But hey, I got a story. I've said it before. I'll say it again to anyone who hasn't heard it, because it's an interesting story. Because you hear about the hospitals labeling every death as fucking COVID, because theoretically they get this fucking government money. Yeah, whatever the story, whatever the fuck it is. Okay. A guy that cuts the grass at one of the estates I know him for 15 years. Okay, he told me a story. his brother-in-law was sick with leukemia, been battling leukemia for 7 or 8 years now. Okay, single breadwinner with a family. Okay, wife obviously doesn't work, young kids, and goes in the hospital because he doesn't feel good, and he passes away 8 days later. They test him for COVID, and he tested positive. However, the doctors, he died from the leukemia. Okay. The problem with this is he had $1 million life insurance policy to take care of his family in the event there was an issue. Okay, because they labeled his death as COVID related, life insurance doesn't pay out during a pandemic.
What?
So, yep, that's the truth. Look at if you have a life insurance policy, they will not pay during a pandemic. Okay.
What?
So now here's what has to happen, Tim. She has an attorney. Okay. Attorney has to go find a judge that will, even though she went to the hospital and said, no, he died from leukemia. The doctors even said it. They said, yeah, but on the death certificate, it says he was positive for COVID. Okay. And even though the death certificate's supposed to be cause of death, because it has COVID on there, the insurance doesn't need to pay out the $1 million. And now she has to get an attorney to go find a judge during these times when probably courtrooms are shut down to sign an order changing it back over to death from leukemia. These fucking stories, that's the kind of shit. Now imagine how many times that's happened. You know what I'm saying?
That's unreal, dude. That's insurance, man. That's lobbyists. You need lobbyists in Washington.
Yep.
Yeah. Lobbyists, man. Lobbyists and term limits, and we'll fix this country.
Yeah. Term limits, definitely. No doubt about that. But hey, on a lighter note, you see the news that Mike Judge...
I don't have news no more.
Okay, so then I'll inform you. Very good news during all this bullshit. Mike Judge struck a deal with Comedy Central, and they're bringing back at least 2 new seasons of Beavis and Butthead. That's the best thing I've heard all fucking yep.
It's going to be old school, or are they redoing it?
It's going to be old school. It's going to be updated. From what I read, it's going to be...
Do they do videos now?
I don't know. They're going to do different kinds of videos, but they plan to do the same similar thing. But it's going to be more dated to nowadays life. And then I'm only hoping this is going to build for a second movie. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
Right. That is awesome. I'm ready for that. Yeah. What channel?
Comedy Central 249 on DirecTV, if that's what you
I don't have TV, man. Just told you.
Well, you'll find it on one of the streaming.
I'll find it, yeah. Yeah, we got every streaming service you can imagine, so. But I watch YouTube, so.
I'll tell you what, if it wasn't...
Have you tried YouTube TV at all?
Nah, I do my 8-minute Joe Rogan clips and shit like that at night. I don't really watch TV anyway, if it's not sports anyway. So, I catch up on Joe Rogan, that's about it. Do some window cleaning shit. Kind of boring. That's what I fall asleep to YouTube.
I'll tell you what, if I hadn't... You're like my kids, dude. My kids both... I finally got DirecTV out of their bedrooms. They had flat screen TVs and DirecTV. And I go in there and I'm like, when was the last time this box was turned on? What? I don't even know if it still works. And I'm like, Kate, we're paying for high-def fucking DVRs in their bedrooms, and they don't even know how to turn this fucking thing on. This shit's got to go.
Yeah.
Well, my kids don't watch TV. They don't do cable. They always did the Netflix and shit like that. So
no, my kids cried at Christmas time. They got to have a fucking flat screen TV, and then they sit there and watch shit on a tablet all day.
They watch the smart TVs. That's what.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
But my Leah has the TV on in the living room. It's always on Dr. Phil, 24/7 Dr. Phil, or Law and Order SVU, one of the two. That's all she watches. And then I don't know. He probably had to get that rich.
Yeah.
Oprah's hot, dude. Don't get me fucked up. I do Oprah.
Okay, take all the money away. Take all the money away.
30 years ago, it might have been like bangable, but
I want to be her. What's her husband's name? What's his name?
Stedman.
I want to be that. I want to be Stedman. I want to be Stedman. Take care of me.
Yeah, right.
$400 billion a year, woman.
Okay, wait a minute. So take the money away, Tim. Would you still bang it? Yeah, you'd still do it?
I don't know. Depends. Depends on the situation, I guess. I mean, obviously not that I'm married and shit. Put that there, but I mean, in a context thing.
Yeah.
Probably.
In a world where you weren't married, maybe you'd bang Oprah.
Maybe.
I think I'd do Judge Judy. Just her authority.
She's so old, dude. She's like in her 80s, man.
But that would be awesome.
Yeah, you pick up that robe. Imagine what's doing under there.
Yeah, she just hits you on the balls with the gavel.
Hey, I've always said my dream would be crazy just after shaving her head. Spears, that Britney Spears. That's who.
Britney Spears, like 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
Just right after she shaved that head, I want to go hang out with that woman right then and there. I want to know what the fuck's up. Let's go have a good time.
She'd be fun no matter what. Yeah, right. She'd be a good time. Right. Yeah, I'm into that.
I like Britney, man.
What's she doing? Is she still making music or anything?
Who knows? I haven't heard
anything. Dude, she's like I think she's like 38, 39 now. Like she's
38.
Yeah.
Maybe
she was like my first crush in high school when I was like 13, 14. I think my freshman year.
I waited until she turned 18 and then I went after it.
And then he went out.
Well, no, so like when she was a minor, I was also a minor. So I was like, well, I'm attracted to her. Yeah. So, like I was
so let me ask you,
like, oh, this 15-year-old.
Okay, let's play a little game here. All right, either one of the Olsen twins or Britney Spears.
Oh, definitely Britney Spears.
No way. Oh, dude, the Olsen twins smoke.
Right. Has anyone ever seen?
Kidding me? That's like rails.
Has anyone ever seen?
They have nothing to play with.
Has anyone watched like Jim?
The Olsen twins look like they're out of the fucking labyrinth.
There you go.
Yeah. From the labyrinth.
Is there a voice from beyond?
Give me curves, man. Dude, curves all day.
I'll bet you the Olsen twins have more money than Britney Spears.
Oh, probably. They made all those movies and shit, like Full House and shit.
Well, when they were like, they had all that line of makeup and shit too, not too long ago.
They also had all those like direct to like VHS or direct to DVD movies and shit. They made a fucking killing off that.
I'll tell you right now. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen's net worth $250 million apiece.
Damn,
that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
but Britney could be like right around that though.
Justin Timberlake's like 250, I think.
Okay, let's see. Britney Spears.
I mean, he hasn't made an album in like
59 million. She's fucking poor.
She puts out an album, she'll gain 10 million.
She needs to like shut up or something.
She did that gig at the Vegas for a while.
Did anyone else hear TJ talk like a minute ago? Like
he's in the background.
Squeegee life right there.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's making sure we're doing the right thing.
We're doing it fine.
Yeah, he's basically like the preschool
like, you fucked our thing, fucking this up.
Kids. Be like, don't fuck this up for me. Yeah, I hear.
Trying to get my pool up, motherfuckers. Man, it'd be nice to have a pool.
So
you can't find one around
what's he doing? Like burying that pool like halfway in the ground, like doing the deck, or like what's he up to with that? I saw the videos of the digging, but like what's he doing? Is he going like full underground?
I think he's going halfway or something. I don't know.
Halfway and like doing a deck or something?
Probably.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. I wish I had a pool.
I wish I could do that.
I wish I just had a pool, like in general. I don't care.
In Florida, dude, in Florida, about 80% of the houses have pools. And I didn't buy a house because it had a pool in it, because I was scared as fuck having children around a pool. Right. And they put the fucking net up and everything. And now I wish I had a pool. And I have the room for a pool. But my goal is to pay this motherfucker off before I start fucking yanking money out of it, you know?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have it paid off, Mark? I would figure the richest man in window cleaning had the.
Nah, man. Look, I'll be honest with you. I'll share. I made mistakes like everyone else. Okay? I made a mistake. I bought when we had my first son, my wife had a Nissan Sentra and I had a Ford Ranger. Okay? I wanted more metal around my wife and children. So money was tight. I bought an Expedition at a higher interest rate than I wanted, like fucking 14%. But I had to have that truck. Yeah. So the housing in the neighborhood appreciated a little bit. So, hey, let's pull out fucking 20 grand and pay for the fucking truck and let's just cash out this fucking loan and get it out from under us. You know, so you take out 20 grand and it's another 5,000 for closing, shit like that. But yeah, I got about 4 or 5 more years of this motherfucker's mine, and I'll be happy when that happens. But I made mistakes like everyone else. Finance shit for business, dude. When I bought my lift, that bitch was fucking $51,000 fucking dollars. Okay, you know what it is when that motherfucker sits in your yard and $1,000 a month fucking payment plus $200 more for additional insurance, and it's not fucking working and making you money.
Yeah,
that shit's scary
you're
fucking thing.
About the fuck out of that thing.
Yeah. So, I've made some mistakes along those lines. If I would have stayed with the original loan and not fucked with it a couple times, I certainly would have been paid off. I mean, I've been here
as long as you're paid by retirement, then you're good.
Oh yeah, well, I've been, it's a 30-year mortgage, and I've been here 20. So there's 10, but we've been making extra payments for the last 7 or 8 years, and I refinanced, got a lower interest. Now we're not fucking with it, and so that's where it's at. So I got 4 or 5 more years. I want to put some money back into my company, but I got to wait to see what's going to happen.
It's like every year you have like a new plan on it. At least like with me, it's like, I had a good year, I'll throw this money in it. Like,
I'll be honest
pandemic
with you,
year, I'm not doing shit.
When I came into the podcast years ago,
I'm stashing cash right now. I'm not fucking around.
When I came out,
I'm a squirrel. I put the nuts in my mouth and fucking bury them.
Yeah, what nuts?
That's what I'm doing.
When I
jeez, motherfucker,
came on the podcast, I talked a lot about an exit strategy, and I believe everybody should have one. Like Seth, you say to yourself, okay, it's me and my brother, and we got an employee, and let's be real, I'm not getting any younger. I want to physically be either out of this business or sell it or turn it over or whatever the cases be, or be able to be retired, right? In the next 10 years, hypothetically. So I had planned my exit strategy, but with all this shit going on, it's so up in the air, what's going to be? Because unfortunately, I don't give a fuck what anybody says on Facebook. I only know one window cleaner that has walked away in his early 60s and not had to work the rest of his life. Okay? Yeah. I've seen guys die with their boots on, meaning on the fucking streets, still scraping a living in window cleaning, and that's the sad part, because I don't believe it's unless you're super smart and you really, really know business and really, really know everything that we're all learning as we experience it. It's not a business that you can do for 20 years and walk away and never work for the rest of your life. Think about it though. Think about how much you need though, Seth. I mean, if you had $1 million, that sounds like a fucking lot of money, right? That's $100 grand for 10 fucking. It's $100 grand for 10 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's not a long time.
Mm-mm.
I mean, so I didn't mean to drag this down into the mud. I'm just saying,
No, I don't think you're dragging it into the mud. TJ just said we got 5 minutes.
Oh, fuck him. Let him go dig his.
Wrap it up, bitches.
Put the fucking dirt in that hole.
I keep seeing his messages pop up. So
imagine the fucking debauchery that's going to go on in that fucking pool.
Yeah, oh my god. If debauchery doesn't happen.
He said it's a used pool, but man, you can't find a new pool. You just can't. They're just nowhere.
Right now, no, they don't exist, man.
They don't exist.
No, the pool he's burying is the one that he already had in his yard anyways, right? Like that's what
I don't know.
I think
I was there, but I didn't see
nice
a pool in the backyard.
Right now,
it was cold.
I never looked in the backyard, to be honest. I was only there for maybe 45 minutes. I met all the dogs, met the wife, had a few Modelo's, and then went to my hotel room. So I don't know. I didn't really look in the backyard.
I see people go down to the amusement parks around. We got Cedar Point and Kings Island. Everybody's going up and taking pictures and shit, and they're all pissed off about wearing these masks.
Is Cedar Point open?
I know Kings Island is. I'm not sure about Cedar Point, but if Kings Island's open, Cedar Point's open. It's got to be open. You know,
I don't think Cedar Point's open.
I would imagine
he was talking about that last week. They ain't open.
Kings Island's open.
Is it?
Why would they have Kings Island open?
I don't know.
DJ, is Cedar Point open?
It's not open, dude.
Man, I don't know.
Why is Kings Island open and Cedar Point isn't?
Because
that don't make sense at all.
This year's fucking weird, man. I don't know.
The main park's not open. That's crazy to me.
But yeah, Mark, I've had a retirement fund for shit. When did I start that? 24?
Good for
So
you.
I've been paying to her.
Good for you.
Well, I mean, I learned real quick. Do you know what I inherit from my mom and dad? A Kia Optima with 200,000 miles on it and about $10,000 in debt. I don't want to fucking do that to my kids.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, I mean, like my parents never I got to go places and stuff like that.
Both your parents are gone then. I didn't know that.
No. Both my parents are alive, but
your mom's alive because she just got COVID. How's she doing?
My mom and dad are alive, but they're both like broke as fuck. Like I ain't getting shit but debt when they die.
Right.
Fuck that. I ain't paying no debt on a dead person.
Well, hopefully not. I mean, they try to pass the buck when you go, but what I'm trying to say is like I got an exit plan where I'm like, maybe I work 2-3 days a week and like do a couple of houses here or there.
Yeah. Oh, dude, don't get me wrong. Retirement for me is going to go out and push 5 storefronts, have breakfast, bullshit with people, collect some money, and go home. I'm not going to fucking. I love as much as I piss and moan about it. I love what we do. I'm
one of those guys. Like I got to get up every day and do fucking something.
So I got to be productive
every day. I got to like go do something. A house, 2 houses, something like that.
Yeah, I would say this. Unless I had, for some reason, a god awful amount of money where I could just go out and do projects and build shit. At that point, I think I'd step away from window cleaning. But obviously, you know, I've been checking the mailbox for 20 years as I've lived here for that trust fund from some dead ass fucking uncle that I know. You know what I'm saying? And it hasn't showed up yet. They're not looking for me yet. So I don't think that's going to happen. You know, but if to be financially secure. So well, that's good though. Set that you preparing.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, I just try to be like I don't know if it's going to be worth a damn when I'm done, but at least I have something like something. Yeah. You know, something lined up. And my goal in life is to just be like, I've gotten to do. I mean, let's be honest about window cleaning, right? You're not going to make $1 million, but you get to make your day every day.
Oh, that the freedom.
You know what I mean? Like the freedom is worth so much, and people like discount that. Like, well, you don't make $200,000 a year. Well, no shit, I don't make that.
Yeah, but the one thing that I've done, my wife and I have learned, especially you know, when you bring children into the world, you do without certain things so that they can have, right? That Tim can relate to that. But what we've done is we've got a lifestyle that suits us. And anytime my company has done well or when my wife works, she's got an increase. We don't change our lifestyle. We take all that money, even if it's $100 a week, $100 a month, and fucking bank it. Exactly right. You know, so
that's the way to do it, though. Like even if it just makes retirement that much easier.
Yeah.
Like at least you've done something. You should always do something, even if it's like it's not 100% fixed. But if you're like, oh, I have an extra fucking $800 a month. $900 a month, like it pays something, you know.
Like here's a. I'll share a little. You know, last month, my company was able to pay off that business that I bought. Okay, that was costing my company $3,750 a month. Okay, in a note payment. Yeah. So my wife's like, look at this. We just, you know, our revenue numbers are down because obviously of what's going on in the economy and COVID. They're not $3,750 down. So, and I told her, I said, look, the company now saves $3,750. Let's just make it an easy $3,000 because the $750 is fucking no longer, you know, we're going to lose work. Okay. And we'll try to recover from that. But, you know, take $1,500, bank it away in retirement, take the other $1,500 and let's feed the business. Okay.
Yep.
Keep a cushion, build that back up so that rainy day comes, I don't have to fucking worry. Or I want to buy another pressure washer or buy a trailer.
Yeah, but like your retirement too is right. Like so, like when you're done cleaning windows, doesn't mean your company's done with. Like you just might go from making, you know, let's just say $4,000 a month to making $1,500.
Yeah,
well, that's like a pension. That's like a pension.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Well, in a perfect world, you turn it over to the kids. They run it, the day-to-day operations, and everything else, and you get some money out of it every month, plus your Social Security if that's going to exist.
Well, what's your oldest doing? Is he going to school or?
He's got to find himself. No, he's
18, right? So
no,
yeah,
he's 20 now. He's fucking 20 now. You know, he's 20 now, and he doesn't want. Now my younger one, he's working 3 days a week through the summer. He loves making money. He doesn't love washing windows, but he doesn't seem to mind it. He's pretty good at it. You know, he's on the route with Ed 3 days a week, and he's he's holding his own. We'll see what the future holds. You know, and my future is going to be dictated by what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to, if I was able to sell this or get out of it or whatever, and then they come to me and say, well, I want to be a window cleaner. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to be window cleaners. I want them to be business owners.
Do something different.
Yeah. I mean, but I'd like to think, because my father was a window washer and now I'm a window, washer, that someone would continue this. You know, I mean, it's certainly not a glamorous job, but it's provided a nice living for my family.
No, exactly. There's nothing wrong with being second, third generation window cleaner.
I think it's fucking awesome. I mean, because think about the advancement they'll have riding the coattail.
They don't have to go through all the bullshit. We
start from nothing. Yeah.
Look at Shof, man. He's third generation. You know?
He is, but
exactly.
I mean, Shof seems like, based off of what he's done, is like he learned a lot from his dad, but like went out on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know if that's what he did, but
I believe so. Yes.
Is he still mowing lawns? That fucking dude has been quiet for a while.
I thought I seen. No, he's on there a lot, but I thought I seen him. He's doing a really big building. They were doing a really big building, but I thought
Cleveland. I saw that
had it up for sale or something like that. Like I thought I saw a post. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I don't know. I'll have to check in on him, see what's up with that.
Yeah, he's a good guy. But I mean, he's one that has just appears, I should say. He's just reaching to build not a window cleaning business, but like
legacy, man,
a property maintenance company where he's doing lawns, he's doing pressure washing, doing gutter cleaning, doing window cleaning.
That's his mindset.
Yeah, but I mean, is he going to go in circles? Is he going to move forward? I don't know. That's risky. See, I've always been afraid to branch out into other things because I'm afraid of failure.
Why do you think I was doing water-fed pool?
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
He's got balls, man. I don't have those kind of balls. You know, I know I can make a living doing this way. We're comfortable.
Well,
this is what we do.
Different strokes for different folks, man. Like you gotta do what you gotta do. So
well, I mean, I'm just doing I got a lot of kids. I got a lot of getting ready my fifth baby.
Yeah, you're a Mennonite. You got like,
you kidding me right now?
15 of you.
45 getting ready to have my fifth grandkid. Crazy. So yeah, it's just it's expensive, man.
Yeah,
I can't do this. Like, I like working other kind of jobs, but I can't make the money I make doing. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of stuck doing this.
I think the freedom of it, like we said before, the freedom to me, dude. I came out of high school, went to OMC school, became a certified boat mechanic, which is what I wanted to do my whole life. Lost my job, went to work for my dad for 1 week. 1 fucking week cleaning commercial storefronts, and I was hooked. I was hooked not because of the physical work of it, not because of the satisfaction of cleaning a fucking window, okay, but the freedom.
Right.
Freedom is everything. But, boys, I think it's been a good podcast. I think TJ wants us to be done.
Yes.
Yes. I'm into it. I hope everyone has an amazing 4th.
Yes. Seth, thank you for carrying the load.
I tried. I love carrying loads.
I think you did great. Great. Tim, always a pleasure, buddy. Don't be a stranger. And definitely listen to me. Listen to me. Remind me, because I'm getting old, when you're coming down, we'll exchange phone numbers because we're going to hook up.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I want to talk you into a pool.
All right. Let's do it. TJ, I hope your pool.
Let's wait for TJ to do his...